right, you're supposed to be feeling it not feeling you. Right? So now you got this, so you have this mind. And you work through those thoughts. But eventually, if one's truly looking, there's no way they could avoid this. They get to a feeling. They get to a state. Suddenly, the words are secondary to this feeling that their entire being is having. Not just a thought their mind is thinking. The entire being is now affected by a particular flavor of energy. We can all admit, and anybody who doesn't understand that, does anger feel a certain way? Does it feel like happiness? No. Two different states. Two different realms. Two different worlds. You see, so the being then suddenly looks around, is feeling these feelings, and it's having impulse. And that impulse it's feeling is the information it's gathering that your ego is totally unaware of. Totally unaware of any of this going on. The trick is to be conscious in that. You know what I'm saying? So then this outer being also can relinquish itself. Right? For the greater. It realizes it's just a fabrication, a convenience along the way. Right? So the rest of those years are basically a build-up to this thing sacrificing into a higher state. Because happiness feels like a higher state, right? Now imagine that magnified by 1,000 times. Which you would cease to exist here.
Right.
You go somewhere else. It's not even really anywhere else. You go up on the spectrum, you go higher in those frequencies.
Right.
The vibratory rate speeds up to such a state that this world can't hold you anymore. It can't. Your vibration is too high. Right? And so we have histories of these guys with these vibratory rates. Jesus. Could you imagine what's standing there? I mean, looking at a guy like that. What that would be like.
Yeah.
Just, it vibe coming off of him, this love vibe coming off of him like crazy. That, once we get to that state, it's funny because these guys, getting to that state, always had something to say back. It was like they were, half in, half out, and translating where they were going to where they were coming from. Basically like throwing ropes over a ledge to help somebody up. You see, and somehow along the way, ego took way too much control. Because now no one knows what they feel. They don't know what is what. They see things that are miraculous all the time, but they can't piece it together. They just chalk it up to chance or weirdness, and they're done with it. Because this system that we have embedded ourselves in, we're embedded in it, takes precedence. See, so, it makes perfect sense why the world is in the state it's in. It makes absolutely perfect sense. There's no confusion about it. We are embedded where we don't belong. We are beings, not this product. Everybody's last name, here's my prediction, everybody's last name by the year 2010 will be LLC, a limited liability corporation. Because everybody's a businessman now.
Right.
I hate businessmen.
Yeah.
They're greedy bastards with their expensive cars and boats, and they're always doing something gross with either children or, something. They can't ever stay home. Who wants to turn into that? Yeah, you want to be one of those? No, you want your heart.
Right.
Well, that's where the power's at anyway. Because they don't have any idea about the state of love. No idea. None. Not even an inkling to it. For them, it's more of an electric power. They feel like Zeus. They all dream, I wield power. But they have no heart.
Right.
The heart is the eternity. Power is temporary.
Right.
Because the power is only sustained for the duration of the life experience. And then what?
And then you go on beyond that.
Right. Imagine, that when you lay the body down, when the animation goes somewhere else, it's just normal. It's like every other animation out there. Those guys are going to be crushed. Because they're just going to be one of the herd. One of the useless eaters, as they like to refer to. They're going to be one of them. Here you can be all you want to be, but it's very limited. It is. You'll need to subjugate lots of people to your will.
Right.
That's a lot of damn work.
They spend a lot of time doing that.
Yeah, billions of dollars trying to figure out how that works. How do I get you to buy this? I must control you. How can I charge you for everything? I find a way. Find a way. Take the toll road out here on 470. Have you ever taken it? Mm-hmm. It's a license plate toll now, which is really weird because it's paid for by taxes, right? And you drive through this thing, and you get charged from the license plate. And they send you a bill in the mail. Thank you for doing business with us.
Yeah.
Driving. That's now business. Pretty soon, I'm going to go into my bathroom, right? And I'm going to take a dump. And I'm going to turn around, and the toilet's going to look over and say, thank you for doing business with us. That'll be $5. I'm like, wow, you're going to commodify everything. Really? I mean, you can't leave anything alone? What happens when they start to commodify the animation, the soul?
Right.
Holy yike. I mean, who wants to go there? Want to go there? We're going to commodify your very existence, your being. And in a lot of ways, they already have. Mm-hmm. Because really, your energy is your dignity. That's your dignity. You know, when Jesus walked around all dignified, that's his vibe, that's his energy, that's the total package, right? Well, what will you do for money? Right? Well, for one, we'll neglect our inner being, we'll neglect the real being for money, we'll neglect our children for money, we'll neglect responsibility for money. Wow, so right there off the bat, they got you, just with the money. Because now, if all that's attached to money, your sense of well-being and purpose is attached to money. All attached, there it is. And really, and it's funny because the reason I say that is money, what is it backed by, really? The fact that you'll do something to get it, your energy. That's what backs it, is the fact that we'll all get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go brave the traffic to get something. That takes energy. That same amount of energy could go into growing your own food. It could go into saying no. You know, for me, and I won't say it's this way for everybody. I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. But for me, the way it works, the way I actually come forward, have a presence, and grow, comes like this. I will look at the entirety of my existence from an open state, where the mind is not telling me things. It's basically there to process whatever information the being is putting into. Right? So it's processing this information. And what comes out is this report. I mean, I'm just kind of trying to make it on a scale you can understand. This is a waste. This is a wasteful activity. This is a wasteful activity. This consumes more energy than what do you actually get out of it. And so what do? That doesn't happen anymore. That doesn't happen anymore. And then suddenly, I have more energy. Why? I mean, you give it a certain amount, right? I mean,
right.
It seems pretty believable that we're given a certain amount of energy. So it's where you spend it, right? The only way I can say it is if we invest that energy right into the being itself, the being expands. It can become a higher vibration, right? But if we're going to rely on all this stuff to get us there, it ain't going to happen.
Right.
It ain't going to happen. This chair is vibrating at its peak. It will not evolve. It will not one day I sit down and arms grow out and hugs me and loves me and wants to be my friend. It's not going to happen. It's done. But a human, using their energy correctly, is never done. There's no such thing as done.
Right.
Because as you expand out, you're accessing more energy. That energy moves in, rearranges you.